Every day, the weight on your shoulders grows heavier. The markets shift, shareholders demand, competitors close in, and that relentless pressure to not just survive, but to dominate, suffocates the very fire that drove you this far. You feel it, this gnawing doubt deep inside. Am I truly in control? Is the power I hold enough to shape my company's future, or am I just a piece moving on someone else's chessboard? Because in the silent rooms where decisions are made, those boardrooms, those offices, you start to see the truth that terrifies and fascinates at the same time. Real power rarely shows its face openly. It's hidden, it's strategic, and it belongs to forces operating far beyond what you thought. Private equity firms, those names whispered in finance circles and shouted in market reports, are not just investors. They are the shadow architects of the economy. Their influence stretches across industries, quietly rewriting rules while companies scramble to keep pace. They aren't merely buyers and sellers, they are masters of transformation, of control, and of crafting future empires where others see only chaos or opportunity. This power dynamic is a complex beast. It's painful for leaders who build companies from the ground up to realize sometimes the real game is being played over your head, behind sealed doors, by those armed with capital, expertise, and a strategy so razor sharp it cuts through illusions of control and independence. For CEOs, managers, and investors who wake up every morning ready to leap forward, but end the day feeling beaten by forces they barely understand, recognizing this truth is crucial. It's the difference between being a player and being played. This isn't conspiracy, it's strategy. Private equity firms hunt the underdog companies, those stuck or flailing, see the hidden potential others miss, then come in to remake, restructure, and push hard until value explodes, or until the time comes to exit with a colossal return. But how can anyone keep up when the rules aren't clear? And these firms move fast, ruthless, and with an obsession for efficiency most companies, and frankly, most leaders, can't match. Here's where the pain hits hardest. It's not just about competition, it's about limitation. Your own hands are tied by outdated systems, by traditional mindsets, by a constant scramble to react rather than act. Meanwhile, these firms operate differently. They don't just react, they remake. They don't just think in quarters, they think in lifetimes. They leverage every resource, every connection, every bit of insight to bend reality, not to survive, but to reign. But this is not a cry of defeat. This is a wake-up call. The very existence of private equity firms as these economic powerhouses reveals a deeper, harsher truth. You can no longer afford to operate inside old boxes, waiting for permission or validation. Control is no longer given. It must be taken. Power is no longer shared by default. It must be earned through relentless evolution. This isn't about playing safe. It's about playing smart, fearless, and strategically beyond everyone else's imagination. If you have felt cornered, trapped under impossible expectations, or shaken by the rise of seemingly unstoppable competitors, this moment is your gateway out. Because what private equity firms actually teach us, if we dare to learn, is how to break rules without breaking ourselves, how to mobilize resources at lightning speed, how to drive change not as an occasional effort but as a core habit. These firms don't win by luck. They architect their victories by mastering transformation at a scale so tactical, it's beautifully brutal. Start seeing your challenges for what they truly are, not barriers, but signals. Signals that you need not just to react, but to transform. Not just to survive, but to rewrite your story. Imagine forging alliances, not with every player, but with the rare few whose vision and drive match your own. Because power isn't about numbers, it's about the right connections, those links that spark exponential growth. Private equity's secret weapon is this network effect, aligning capital with brains, execution with insight, ambition with precision. This is the key for leaders who refuse to settle. You don't just want to meet the market. you want to define it. Wake the dormant potential inside your company by challenging every assumption you once held sacred. Question old systems, outdated processes, and the false comfort of status quo thinking. Be critical, because that skepticism is the fuel for real innovation. Don't just accept the world as it is. Build the world as it should be, boldly, relentlessly. And here's a secret often overlooked. It's not just about the money or the deals. True power, the kind private equity firms harness, lies in their mindset. They play the long game. They handle every setback as a lesson, every risk as an opportunity, every failure as a stepping stone. Their patience is their weapon, a patience that waits quietly, calculates thoroughly, and then strikes decisively. You have that power too. But only if you embrace patience without paralysis, transformation without compromise, focus without distraction. Align yourself with those few who burn with the same fire. Build bridges with visionaries, investors, builders who don't just follow trends but ignite them. Together, your combined strength becomes unstoppable, a network where brilliance isn't just acknowledged but amplified into overwhelming force. Imagine a reality where instead of feeling isolated under pressure, you are surrounded by collaborators who push you just as hard as you push yourself. Imagine cutting through red tape with agility rather than getting bogged down. Imagine a mindset so ruthless in pursuit of your vision that obstacles become irrelevant. This is not fantasy, it is achievable. It begins by refusing the sirens of conformity that lull so many into quiet mediocrity. Slavery today is invisible. You think you're free, but you're boxed in by comfort, rules, expectations that kill creativity and ambition quietly. Breaking free isn't easy. It demands fierce independence, ruthless self-honesty, and the willingness to unlearn everything you've been told about how business works. But once broken free, the possibilities explode. You move from being a cog in someone else's machine to becoming an architect of your own future. Private equity's rise reveals not just where power lies today, but how it can be seized tomorrow. Don't wait until the game changes without you. Don't let your company become prey for others to reshape. Regain your power by building what the system forgot, a network of rare allies, a mindset of relentless growth, a commitment to outthink, outbuild, and outlast any threat. This is your moment to break free from invisible chains, to align with those who dare as you do, and to become the force rewriting the rules of the economy, not just playing by them. Remember, power is not about being loud or numerous. It's about clarity, connection, and courage to forge new paths. The economy is reshaped every day by those few who refuse to be boxed in, those who act decisively with patience and precision. If you're ready to move beyond frustration, beyond limitation, and beyond illusion, you're already halfway there. The path is forged by those who refuse comfort, who are done with waiting, and who will not burn out, but rather ignite the future themselves. This isn't for everyone. It's for those who hear that quiet call inside, a tension that says, there's more, much more. If that voice is burning right now, don't silence it. Lean into it. Because in the hands of those who dare, the immense power behind private equity is not some untouchable mystery. It is a blueprint, a challenge, and an invitation to step into the circle of real control. Seize it, build on it, become more than what the world expects. The economy's true engines aren't the companies that survive, but the ones that redefine survival. And those are always the ones fueled by connection, courage, and unrelenting vision, the very qualities waiting to be unlocked inside you right now.